Welcome everyone. We're ranking the top 100 anime of all time on my anime list, voted on by you. And in a second, I'll show you what the list looks like now. In this second to last part, we're ranking some of the biggest series of all time like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Parasite, as well as showing where other big series like Attack on Titan, Death Note, Jujutsu Kaisen. I'll be showing where I put all those series on my tier list. And as you can see here, the tiers go from Masterpiece to S tier, A tier, and then we have the basic or average tier, and then I have the watch list. So these are anime I plan to watch. And this tier is just like I don't really know this anime at all, and I don't even know if I plan to watch it. And I had to put this tier here because I didn't really want to leave anything down there unranked. I would rather just put it in the I don't know tier. And then the last tier explains itself, I think. And without any further ado, let's get right into the second last part. Full Metal Alchemist. This is like, it's not just an elite anime, okay? Many people say it's like the best anime of all time. I don't necessarily agree, but I can see how you could say it's in the top 10 best ever. But I watched it like 10 years ago. Also another anime that I feel like I would enjoy much better now. When I'm not a kid, I'm sure I'll understand it much better. Parasite was an elite anime. If you've not seen it, it can be a little weird, but I think the story is pretty high level and it's definitely not a bad recommendation. A bit weird though, a bit weird. Spice and Wolf. It seemed like a very endearing anime, but I never truly watched it like that. But it's up there. It's up there. This is the kind of love story I really root for, and I'm not completely heartless, I guess. Oh, we have 2 Samurai Champloo. Wow, that is my mistake. Okay, so Ping Pong, I haven't really watched this anime like that. I don't know, I'll put this in the I don't know tier, but a lot of people say it's really good. Haven't watched, but I shall watch. I'm usually not the most into like super like love kind of stuff, but this is still unique in a certain way, so plan to watch. Ghost in the Shell, I adore this series, standalone complex especially. As a series, it's a top tier, elite. I enjoyed it better than Parasite in most of the series here. I have to be honest. I really enjoyed this series. I feel like this is more of a personal thing, but I did enjoy it more than that one too. No, I want these two to be together. I don't know what it is. They came out in the same season as well. But this, among these elite ones, you know, it really has a special place for me in my heart, and I love this character. Okay, I guess we'll put this in there. I don't know, since we already have 2 of them. And so is this. I haven't watched Violet Evergarden. I don't know this. I haven't watched any of the Monogataris, but I do plan to watch them at some point. I haven't watched this, but I do like sports anime, so maybe I should. Someone should tell me if it's that good. Alright, so moving on. We have this series, also unfamiliar to me. And we have this other series, a big dude and a little kid. Very unfamiliar. I don't know, is it any good, guys? I don't know. Okay, so what's up next? This looks like a very beautiful art style, you know. I should check this one out. Look at the landscape in that. But once again, unfamiliar. And I think most of the series here are like rated actually like above 8.3, most of them. So maybe I was wrong to say some of those are super low rated. Because the premise of this is like top 100 anime on my anime list. Okay, so this one also unfamiliar. What is that? I like the girl with blonde hair though. She has a nice design, what can I say? Kimi no Nawa, is it? This is very fascinating. It's a movie. Seems like it might be romance. I see a dude and I see a girl, but it's still insanely high up there for my to watch list. We obviously have another Ghost in the Shell. My mistake once again. Okay, I'll also talk about that one in a little bit. We have another My Hero. Oof. We'll have one in mid and one we'll have one in basic mid and we'll have one in A tier, just to confuse people a little bit. To confuse the My Hero fans. Okay, now we've arrived to the end. And we've saved some juicy picks here for the end. Okay, so Death Parade. I got like S tier kind of enjoyment out of this. I remember it was a little anticlimactic in the end, lackluster. Maybe if I continue reading the manga rather, I might have gotten more out of it. But just the anime alone was 12 episodes. Even though it seemed like it was like elite territory, it didn't really ever like finish it. Oh yeah, it didn't finish the main thing about it. But it was set up to be one of those high level storytelling anime though. And it was very popular because of that, I think. But it just never really like delivered the finishing touches. It should have been longer. It should have been like at least 25 episodes. It left you wondering a lot, and with more questions than answers. Angel Beats is I wouldn't say quite OG. It's like the transition between OG and new school, even the art style, but it's one of the few sad animes I've watched. It's so sad, but it's so endearing and beautiful. At least from what I remember. If I watched it now, I don't know how I'd feel about it, but just such a sad series, man. Such a sad series. But it was elite though. It was elite for its time and it was very popular. So this girl is beautiful as well. I don't know if that's a necessary comment, but I don't know about this picture, but I remember her being quite decent. Okay, so Slime. This is very new school. I was reading this last year. I think it's still ongoing. I watched the anime and I immediately went into the manga. It was just so chill and fun. I love Rimuru, whatever his name is, as a main character. Like, he went about this isekai in a similar way that I would. I would build a village, power up my people, and you know, he kind of did like a Civ game, but also like an RPG where he levels up his stats, but it's also chill. The only thing that made me slightly go off of this series is the fact that, especially in the manga, so small spoiler alerts, but this is not like a major thing of the plot. It's like there's all these powerful beings and he becomes a powerful being himself, but they're all like kind of friendly towards each other, and you know, there's only one guy who's like kind of like a villain or something, but basically everyone is like friendly, lovey-dovey. You need a great villain, you need a powerful villain, and I would have hoped that these guys, some of them would have like challenged him and stuff, and maybe it's still gonna happen. I've been on break for this because it gets like a new chapter every month, I think, and I've been on break for like 5 months, so there's 5 new chapters I haven't read, but there's a lot of cool characters, and it was a very fun series to watch and to follow rather. Neon Genesis Evangelion, I have no idea if it's that good. I don't know. It was a very long time ago. This is a high level anime. High level, at least as high level as these guys. And it is by one as well, you know. And these guys, they do burn maybe arguably brighter than this does, but it's for such a short period of time that I have to give the nod to Mob Psycho. This one is here mainly because of nostalgic reasons. I haven't watched it in more than 10 years. I have no idea if it would hold up to S-class level. No idea. So maybe I should drop it a little bit if I don't know. Same as this. I don't even know if this is Unlimited Blade Works. No clue. I don't even know how much I liked Unlimited Blade Works. I know I liked it a lot. The animation was insane. It's just in that tier. It's in that tier. That's all we can say. Okay, Bleach. Bleach. First like 100 episodes were S tier, high level S tier, at least in terms of fun. It's similar to the first like 30 episodes of Fairy Tail, very similar, but it does go downhill eventually, you know. It does kind of go downhill for me, but Bleach is still like a decent anime, you know. This is a fair tier to put it in, because even like on my anime list it's for under 8, and anything under 8 is like That's like, if you're not above 8.5, you're usually not S class for me, you know. For S class, you gotta be around 8.5 tier, or at least 8.4. And some of these are not anywhere near 8.5, but for my personal preference, I would still give them that amount. But like most of these anime that I say like it's elite storytelling, they're all like 8.5, 8.6. ReZero used to be, but I saw that now it was just like 8.3, so. Erased is like 8.7. So arguably it belongs with this. The only reason I don't put it up there, it and Promise Neverland and this one, because they are like 8.8, 8.7. But they're too short though. They're very short and brief, whereas these other animes do it for like a much longer period of time. And also these are classics that are beyond reproach basically. This one might not belong here. This was, I remember even watching it back in the day, it was like an 8.5 at best in terms of the enjoyment. But like the actual rating is probably just an 8, and it would be like lower, but just for the respect we'll give Soul Eater that spot. But realistically it probably might even be here, or I don't know, I would need to rewatch it I guess. Next up is another series. The first time I watched it, does this have a manga? I remember I searched for a manga of it once and I couldn't quite find it, I don't know. But I watched the anime, the first time I watched it, it was a masterpiece. I thought it was like, oh my god, one of the most intelligent and fun series I've ever watched. And upon me watching it, I now understand why people say it's like an 8.3. Or even lower, I think it's like an 8 actually, out of 10, if I'm not mistaken. So, No Game No Life, I'll still give it that S tier. Especially since, because the first time I watched it, I thought it was like masterpiece level. The first time I watched it was also like around 10 years ago, and or when it came out. And then recently I watched it like 1 or 2 years ago, and it was not as smart as I remembered, but it's still S class level, I'd say. I'm surprised that ReZero isn't here, because ReZero, the first season, would be a masterpiece for me. I enjoyed it so much, to masterpiece level. But the later seasons, some of them were S tier, and some of them were even A tier at best. So it went a little downhill, but the first season was undeniable for me. Thanks for watching, drop a sub if you enjoyed the video, and see you in the next one.